Hey guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead. So today before dinner, I want to put together some stuff for my kids. I want to do something a little different this year. I am going to can stuff up for them. I am going to make like the cake mixes and stuff like that for them as well. But I want to do some other things. And it's not because they can't afford to buy their groceries. That has nothing to do with it. But, you know, all of our kids work really, really hard. And some of them work a lot of overtime and whatever. And sometimes meals can be just like, you know what I mean? So I thought I'd do something to make that a little bit easier on them. And I'm their mom. And I want things to be easier for them. I guess that's how it works, right? And so I thought about, putting together some food bags, like that people have been doing for the food pantries and whatever. I did a couple of years ago, and I gave each one to the kids. So this year I want to do more than that. So I can't afford a whole lot, but I want to be able to do some. And I thought that I would get 5-gallon buckets and put them in there. And then I was thinking about doing the survival buckets again that I did, I think it was 2 years ago for that too. So I can actually make them up for Nate this year because he's driving home. He's not flying in like he did last time. So let's put together a bag. So now normally I would just print something out and I would just tape it to the bag, but I bought the cheaper ink. And I bought it back in September when I had to get a new printer and hadn't used it, and so the ink ran out today, and so I pulled that out. It doesn't work. So now I have to wait till Friday for my Brother ink to show up. I guess Brother now doesn't like the off-brand, and well, I can't use my printer. So this first one, I'm going to make tuna fish casserole. So now you can buy, I ordered 2.5-gallon bags, but they only sent me 2 gallons, so hopefully it's enough. But you can order the 2.5 gallons, and they're usually big enough to do it. So let's do one at a time here. So I'm going to put 2 cans of tuna in there, and a can of peas. I know my boys like peas, so hopefully their wives do too. And I'm going to put in evaporated milk. Now, the evaporated milk, you can actually water that down a little bit so it's not, you know what I mean, so milky. So if they don't want to use it, they don't have to, but there'll be some milk in there. I want everything to be in there except for the spices. So, that way everything is there. And we want a cream of mushroom soup. So now on the bag, I just put tuna casserole, boil and drain noodles mixed together, as much or as little milk or no milk, heat and enjoy. Then I have a bag of the egg noodles. And make sure you get as much air out as you can, because everything in here is shelf stable. I know there's been other ones, like you gotta add milk to this or do that and whatever, and I like to not do that so that they can actually have everything be shelf stable. So if they don't want to use it till next year, they don't have to. I didn't take anything out of my pantry. I ordered all new, so that there'd be long expiration dates, because like some of my veggies are out of date, so kids can be more finicky. I don't want anybody saying, you gave us outdated stuff. No, you have all new. I'm not making any for Courtney's mom on this stuff. It's just for my kids, for the 3 boys. Now there will be stuff, obviously. I still do a basket for Courtney's mom. But it just won't be these kind. And it was funny because when I did the survival buckets a couple of years ago, Courtney was really, she got into the, I can't think of what that bread is. But she's like, oh, shoot, I'm out of flour. And then she's like, no, I'm not. She goes, she did that survival bucket. And she went over and got that flour out. And so then she had enough to do. Sourdough is what she really got into. So then she had the flour to do her sourdough bread. So, you know, like I put salt and pepper in there, or salt in there. And I think baking powder, baking soda, sugar. I don't remember what else. And I actually made one of those for my niece for her wedding gift. And I put a nice little story at the top of it for her. Because you never know when you need all that stuff. So, here we go. 3 meals. One for each one of the kids. And all they got to do is basically boil the noodles and mix everything else together. Put some, you know, spices on it. Salt, pepper, garlic, whatever they want to use in it. And they have 3 meals ready. And so the other meals that I'll be making, hopefully my printer works by then. And they can do the same thing. Now, if it's a really small thing to do, then, you know, you can use gallon baggies or whatever. And I've seen some people that are using these cool gift bags. They're like heavy-duty plastic and whatever, so they can keep reusing them. But, you know, these bags, too, can be reused if you want to. I mean, they're, you know, yeah, it's going to say tuna casserole on the outside, but, you know, there's no reason that you can't reuse it. So, you know, let me know in the comments if you guys are going to do anything like this for your kids or what you're going to do for Christmas, you know, the different ideas. We always give the kids each money, and then it's not a lot, but we give them money, and then I usually buy a couple's gift, and then, you know, like maybe a shirt or something, because they're kids, you know, they don't need tons of stuff, you know, and you never know what to get them because you don't know what all they have in their own home because they're grown. Now, the grandkids, they get spoiled. They have a little bit higher budget, but they get spoiled. But I know somebody commented that people spent more money than they could afford probably on Black Friday. And what I do is I remember being a kid and they had the Christmas club. And I have had a Christmas club, you know, through a bank for years. And then they kind of quit doing that. Well, when I was a single mom, I couldn't afford that. Because some years, well, the Christmas was very scant. Excuse me. But after me and Tom got together, then what I did is, because we have 3 boys, so there's 3 Christmas presents for them, 3 daughter-in-laws. You know, then we have, you know, their birthdays too, because we give them money for their birthday. And, you know, money to the girls for their birthdays. And, you know, there's anniversaries and, you know, all those good things. So I save aside a certain amount every month. And that way I can cover all of it. I just don't get interest on it. You know what I mean? But that way I don't go into debt come around Christmas time. And that's good, because I already have the money to spend. I already have their birthday money and everything else. So even if you can put, you know, $10 a month aside for Christmas presents, that certainly would help a lot so that you don't go so deep in debt. So I just want to address that with that guy, because not all of us had to do that. It doesn't make one person better than the other. It just means that I know how much it's going to cost me, and I want to make sure that I have it, because when I was a single mom, there was a lot of years that, you know, if they got to spend $20, it was a good year, you know. So I don't want to ever go back to that again. If I have to, I have to. But you feel pretty crappy when it's like that. So believe me, I understand if you can't afford Christmas, because there was a lot of years that I couldn't either. And that's kind of sad. But anyways, this is things that they can use. Kids can always use food. Always. So I do have, I think, 3 other ones that I want to do. Got an eyelash in my eye, sorry. But one of them I have to can something again. I can't wait to can it because we're almost out of it too. So, anyways, this is one idea for Christmas. But you know, if you want to use these to put in those different little buildings all over the cities that you have, you know, they're ready to eat, whatever. Or you can, a lot of them are taking them to food banks and everything else and set up. So hopefully that helps and it gives you an idea. And I think I have 3 more coming out that I'll be doing. So thanks for coming along with me. You guys have a blessed day. Be a blessing, and I'll see you at supper.